Everything starts to tighten at once in this episode, and by the end of it, several people are standing much closer to disaster than they realize. Cain makes a move that could change Malcolm's future. Holden opens up in a way that shows just how deeply this family bombshell has shaken him. And out in Vegas, while Adam and Nick push Reza for answers, Sharon and Noah drive straight into a trap without knowing Matt Clark is already waiting for them. Claire is the first one to step into a very emotional situation. She walks in and notices Holden completely absorbed in his phone. He seems thrown off when he sees her, almost like he got caught sitting with thoughts he would rather keep to himself. Still, after a moment, he invites her to sit down. Holden admits right away that his life feels completely turned upside down after learning that Malcolm is his father. He says he is not handling things the way he normally would. Usually, he prides himself on being composed, on keeping himself steady. But this time, he cannot quite get there. What makes it worse is the guilt. Malcolm is sick, and Holden cannot help him in the way he wishes he could. On top of that, there is resentment too, because now that the truth is out, he cannot stop thinking about all the time they lost. That is when Holden reveals something deeply personal. He tells Claire that he has been carrying around a pair of baseball gloves and a ball. He has been hoping that Malcolm might play catch with him. Even saying it out loud embarrasses him because it makes him feel exposed and almost childlike. But it also says everything about what this revelation has stirred up inside him. This is not just about a biological connection, it is about everything he never got to have. Claire understands that more than most people would. She tells Holden she knows what it is like to want a relationship with your father. That gives Holden room to say even more. He admits that he is angry at his mother. For all those years, he wanted answers. For all that time, he felt the absence of a father. And now he knows his mother knew the truth all along. The whole thing is so heavy that Holden says he wants to get away from it for a little while. He asks Claire to have lunch with him. He is surprisingly honest here too. He tells her he knows she has been keeping some distance between them. He knows she does not fully trust him. But just for today, he wants to put all of that aside and share a meal. Claire accepts. At the same time, Lily is dealing with a crisis that feels much more urgent than anything else around her. She is on the phone, talking about Malcolm's condition, and the fear in her voice is clear. She keeps insisting there has to be someone out there who can help him. There has to be a solution. Cain overhears enough to realize Malcolm is sick, and he approaches Lily to ask if he heard correctly. Lily is immediately irritated. She does not appreciate him listening in on something so private. Cain tries to explain that he was not intentionally eavesdropping, and then he asks if she is okay. Lily insists that she is fine and tries to leave, but Cain stops her. He says that if she tells him what is happening, maybe he can help Malcolm. Lily does not hide her suspicion. She wants to know why Cain is suddenly being so kind. Why is he doing this? Cain tells her that he has things to make up for. He says none of the history between them matters in this moment. What matters is that she knows he is here for her if she needs help. That is the point where Lily lets some of her guard down. She admits that she is scared. More than that, she says she does not know how to save Malcolm. Cain asks what Malcolm needs, and Lily explains the reality of the situation. Malcolm has aplastic anemia. He needs a compatible bone marrow donor. They have already been through the most likely possibilities, and there are no matches. Cain asks if that means they are down to the National Registry. Lily says yes, and that is exactly what terrifies her. A donor could come from there, but it could also take months. It could take years. And she does not know how much time Malcolm actually has. Cain knows the odds may not be great, but he still tells her that he is willing to get tested. Lily is clearly taken aback. She tells him she cannot ask him to do that. Cain answers that she is not asking, he is offering. If there is any chance he could help, then he wants to try. That hits Lily hard. She is moved, and for a moment the conversation shifts away from old wounds and towards something much more human. Cain makes one thing clear. He says he is not doing this to manipulate her, even though he admits he would like to win her over. That is not what this is about. He says he is trying to do something good for someone who deserves it. He knows Malcolm matters to Lily. He knows he matters to the twins too. Then Cain goes even deeper. He brings up Lily's father. He says maybe, if he can help Malcolm, maybe part of Lily will feel like one impossible loss does not have to define everything. Maybe it could ease the pain of not being able to save her father. Lily admits that this has been weighing on her. It has been one of her private fears all along. She asks Cain how he could possibly know that. Cain simply tells her that he knows her. That is one of the quietest moments in the episode, but also one of the most telling. While some people are being pushed toward danger, Cain is stepping forward into something painful and serious, asking for nothing in return except the chance to help. Meanwhile, in Vegas, the tension is uglier and far less gentle. Nick is alone in the bathroom, struggling. He is handling a package of pills, clearly fighting with himself over what to do. In the end, he takes one. Right after that, he throws a towel at the mirror, disgusted with himself. The moment is messy and raw, and it says a lot without needing many words. Nick is not in a good place, and he knows it. Outside that bathroom, Adam is using Chelsea's phone to leave Sharon a message. He warns her that Matt Clark has stolen both his phone and Nick's phone, and he tells her not to trust any messages that appear to come from either of them. Adam then knocks on the bathroom door and asks Nick if he is okay. Nick says he is and claims he will be out in a minute, but it is obvious that he is barely holding himself together. Then Reza arrives at the suite and the pressure turns in her direction immediately. Adam reports that Nick is alive. Chelsea wants to know if Reza has heard from Matt. After some back and forth, Reza says she has not. Chelsea does not buy it. She asks her directly why she is lying. Adam backs Chelsea up. Chelsea wants to know whose side Reza is really on. Reza fires back that Adam is the one who betrayed her trust. He used her to get to Matt. Adam ignores the accusation and asks again if she is helping Matt set all of them up. Then Nick finally comes out of the bathroom and joins in, saying he would like to hear the answer too. Reza refuses to fold under the pressure. She says she came there to help, and instead she has been treated like a criminal from the second she walked in. She turns as if she is ready to leave, and that is when Adam grabs her arm. He demands the truth and warns that he can make her life extremely uncomfortable if she keeps refusing to talk. Reza does not deny the danger. Instead, she forces them to face what they are asking of her. She wants to know what she gets if she turns on Matt. She says she has a lot to lose. And even if they are right that Matt is a dangerous man, helping them would put her directly in his line of fire. Adam promises that they will protect her if she helps. Nick goes further and tells her they will make sure she never has to see Matt again. Reza makes it clear that kind of freedom will cost them. Nick tells her to name her price. And while this negotiation is happening, Sharon and Noah are already much closer to Matt than anyone in that suite seems to realize. Out on the road, Sharon and Noah are driving deeper into isolation, following instructions they believe came from Nick. Sharon complains that they are in the middle of nowhere, and Noah points out that they are still about 15 minutes from where they are supposed to end up. Every mile takes them further into emptiness. What Sharon and Noah do not know is that they are being manipulated by Matt Clark, who stole Adam and Nick's phones. That means every message they trusted has been part of the setup. As they keep driving, Sharon notices something else. They are out of cell range. Noah already has a bad feeling by then, and that detail only makes it worse. Sharon asks what exactly is bothering him, and Noah explains where his mind is going. He brings up the situation with Nick holding Matt hostage, and he points out that the message from Nick invited them to come and watch Matt Clark go down. Noah is worried that Nick and Adam may push things too far. He is not just concerned about Matt, he is also worried about what Nick and Adam might do in their desperation. Noah then reflects on the chain reaction behind all of this. He says his relationship with Sienna is what brought Matt Clark back into their lives. It is a troubling thing to sit with. Even so, Noah admits there is still a part of him that wants to see Matt fall. He does not want Nick or Adam crossing a line, but he would absolutely like to have a hand in Matt's downfall. That feeling hangs in the air as the drive continues and the signal never returns. Noah gets more uneasy by the minute. Finally, they arrive at an abandoned fueling station. It is the kind of place that already feels wrong before anyone even says a word. The cell service is still gone, and now they have a choice to make. Do they go in, or do they turn back and try to find a signal first? Sharon wants to go look for reception so they can call for help. She and Noah are still going back and forth when the truth crashes right into the car with them. Matt climbs into the back seat and delivers a chilling welcome. He tells them, very simply, that they have arrived in hell. That is the ambush. And suddenly everything that felt suspicious before becomes real. Back in a very different setting, Holden and Claire continue with the lunch he asked for. But the family tension does not stay away for long. As they enter the restaurant, Holden wonders aloud if maybe the doctors have already found a donor for Malcolm and just have not told him yet. It is the kind of thought people cling to when they are desperate for better news. Then Holden spots his mother, Stephanie, across the room. He decides to introduce her to Claire. The conversation starts politely enough. They exchange greetings, and it becomes clear that Claire already knows about the major developments surrounding Holden and Malcolm. But Stephanie does not stay on safe ground for long. She asks Claire how she felt when she learned who her father was later in life. The question lands as way too personal almost immediately, and Stephanie realizes it. She pulls back and admits she overstepped. Trying to recover, Stephanie reframes what she means. She says she is really wondering how long it is reasonable for someone to stay angry in a situation like this. She starts by speaking in general terms, but then she becomes more direct. She accepts that she lied, and she knows she needs to be held accountable for it. That alone says a lot about where Stephanie is emotionally. She is not defending what she did. She knows the damage is done, and she also knows she cannot simply explain it away. Then Stephanie shifts again and asks Claire if she is the young woman who went with Holden to Los Angeles. When they confirm that she is, Stephanie casually complains that Holden should stop charming women and finally pick one to settle down with. It is an awkward little turn, but it also sounds like classic parental pressure slipping into the room even in the middle of crisis. After Stephanie leaves, Holden and Claire sit down at their table, and Holden reflects on his mother in a more balanced way than someone might expect. He says Stephanie was a good mom. He also says that her decision to reveal the truth now, because it could help save Malcolm's life, is actually a good thing. That does not erase the lie, but it does show Holden trying to make sense of all the contradictions. Claire smiles and notes that Holden's mother seems very eager to see him married off. Holden says that has been true his entire life. He even tells a story about how she once tried to push him toward a neighbor girl when they were children, only for that girl to move away in the 2nd grade. It gives the conversation a lighter rhythm for a moment, which is needed after everything else he has been carrying. Holden makes it clear he is still nowhere near ready to settle down. Claire understands that completely. She says Kyle wanted to move much faster than she did. She wants more time to experience life before starting a family. It is a calm and easy exchange, but it also keeps showing how comfortable these two can be when they let their guard down. Then the focus returns to Malcolm and the possibility that Cain may be able to help. Stephanie arrives to meet Lily and Cain so they can move forward quickly with his donor compatibility test. That moment matters because it takes Cain's earlier promise and turns it into action. He was not just saying the right thing to Lily, he meant it. Lily thanks Cain and he heads out. Once he is gone, Stephanie gives Lily her own take on what just happened. She says the only reason Cain would do something like this is because of Lily. That leaves a lot hanging in the air. Maybe Stephanie is right. Maybe Cain's feelings for Lily are still driving far more of this than he wants to admit. Or maybe what matters most right now is simpler than that. Malcolm needs help, and Cain is willing to step in when others cannot. Still, the emotional complication does not disappear just because the medical urgency is real. Lily is already scared about Malcolm, already carrying the weight of helplessness, already struggling with the painful truth that there were no matches among the people closest to him. Now Cain has inserted himself into that crisis in a deeply personal way, and whether that gesture stays purely noble or becomes something more complicated could matter later. At the same time, Vegas is spiraling into something far more dangerous. Nick and Adam are cornering Reza and offering protection, money, and a way out if she turns on Matt. But Sharon and Noah are already cut off from help, sitting in a dead zone with Matt Clark in the back seat of their car. And now that he has them exactly where he wants them, the question is no longer whether this was a trap. The question is what Matt plans to do next now that Sharon and Noah are completely in his hands.